Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. Time for a little game chat where I'm going to take your guys' thoughts and comments. That's going to be the majority of the show. We have one main topic. We're going to be looking at 6 months in the Nintendo Switch. What has Nintendo learned? We're going to chat about that. Before we do, remember these streams are powered by Elgato, n64josh.com/Elgato. Use code N64Josh at checkout. If you're looking for capture cards or lighting, better mic, all that stuff, Elgato is the way to go. Some Stream Decks, they've got so many different varieties. Go and check them out again. N64josh.com/Elgato, code N64Josh. Cryptic is here. What is going on, my friend? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So the question for tonight, 6 months in, how is the Switch 2 doing? Right? We know sales are strong, but what's so kind of what brought this question on? I know a lot of outlets have been like covering this question, but I'm seeing I've been on some very like interesting side of like gaming YouTube and gone down a few rabbit holes or like rabbit trails with like some people that are very very anti Nintendo, very anti Switch, and I'm like and I'll do that periodically because I just want to get other perspectives, you know? And it's it's just so interesting. It's all so interesting to me because from my perspective to some of these other perspectives, they're so different. They're so different. So I see Steak is here. What's going on? Nady Nay, what is happening? So how do you guys think it's doing after 6 months? I'll throw just a few things out there. I feel like I am enjoying games more than I have in a while. I feel like I'm doing as much as I am talking about games, I'm also gaming, and that has been great for me. Like even the run you're seeing right now was literally the first thing I'm doing in the morning after the gym is working on time trials on Mario Kart for a little bit so I can literally grab my B-roll for the day. And so you're seeing our pipe trials track right here. And the dopamine hits that I get from racing against my ghost in time trials, probably super silly to some people, but it is peak gaming for me. I am just having so much fun with this game. Uh Learning new strats, right? Trying to shave those seconds off. You'll see right here this section. There's a point where you can hold down your charge jump, and I don't quite have it down yet. I don't quite have it down, but it's fun to practice. It's fun to just be getting better at stuff. So Cryptic says, I think it's good. People always compare it to 2017, but people act like Zelda was this booming franchise and it ended with Mario, the big game. This year we got new Mario Kart. We got a big game in DK and Metroid to end it. It's because it's not Mario. People are upset. Yeah, it's funny. Part of this conversation came from watching one of uh, Johnny's videos because he was saying that same thing. How I mean, he's always talking about wanting 3D Mario, and I get it. But like, I mean, when I think about when I think about the amount of titles I've rolled credits on, I've rolled credits on Mario Kart, which I mean, that's a daily game for me. Basically, it doesn't ever stop. Rolled credits on Donkey Kong, rolled credits on Metroid, am close to rolling credits on Age of Imprisonment. I know it seems like I've completely forgot about Kirby, but I'm gonna try to roll credits on that before the end of the year. And I know that's not super long. There's a ton to do in Kirby, but I don't think you have to do that much to roll credits. So I'm planning on having that done before the end of the year. And and that's not including like, I just rolled credits on Prime Remastered. I talked about this the other day, just how many games I beat this year is gotta be a record for me. Like, it's gotta be a record for me. And a lot of that started with I mean, I was doing like I played Samus Returns on 3DS. I played Dread again on on the Switch. But like even Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, I didn't roll credits on that until the Switch 2 version dropped. Right? I beat Xenoblade Definitive Edition this year. Like so this just like it really got me. This has been a great year, but the Switch 2, like I just feel like I've even stepped it up even more to where it's uh there's plenty of talk of games, but actually playing. So Steak says enjoying the games, playing a tons, Legends ZA. That's another one. That was fantastic. I'm like, I know there's one more I'm missing. Mario Kart World, Metroid Prime 4, Switch 2 edition. Love the games that are slated to come soon. Getting day and date with some, which is one of the biggest things I wanted. That's fantastic. Uh, Gaming the Otter says Mario Kart World Run Racing Game of the Year. Let's go. Let's go. Makes me very happy. Cryptic said also in 2017, the third party support was nowhere to be seen compared to 2025. I give them grace to take their time with their first party titles now since they don't have to have something every month. Yet they do. Right? Have they missed a month yet? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, I think was it Dragon Drive? Was that next? And I know that wasn't like fantastic, but then you got Pokemon, Kirby. They did throw in some like, Jamboree TV, which was not great. Uh Kirby and the uh Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition as well. So there's been plenty of Switch 2 editions, but then yeah, like Cyberpunk and the Star Wars Outlaws, there's been so much. And then the games keep I think September was Kirby Stake, I'm pretty sure was Kirby, which whether we want to count that or not, I don't know. But uh there's it's just, and in some months I think we've had two games, right? So it's kind of made up for it. It just seems like there's so much there. I mean, what are our main? I'm looking at a handful of them right now. Metroid, Kirby, Hyrule. That's three. Mario Kart is four. Pokemon is five. Bonanza is six. So I mean, there's six right there. Like, and we're 6 months in. So it's like in a way, like I understand Breath of the Wild was a ton of fun. Splatoon 2 was also great, but we did get like the Switch 2, the free update for Splatoon, so it runs great on Switch 2. There's there's a there's a ton that they have the conversation not that long ago was like, when are we going to get more Switch 2 versions? And uh now it seems like we're getting more and more, and not only first party but third party as well. So, um, they said there's also been a steady amount of NSO, including GameCube games added to NSO. Yep. Um, and Nate says in four games in the '70s. Nate, will you elaborate on that for me? Like elaborate on that for me a little bit. Oh, we're talking scores, not pricing. Okay. I was just making sure, like because that has been, that has been that's part of the conversation. That's some of these channels that are like so anti Nintendo, they view it as like anti consumer, right? With their with their uh Mario Kart World being $80. And like I don't if you start to like Like, really break that down. Okay, do I wanna pay $80 for a game ever? No. Do I think I'm going to get, the entertainment out of it? Am I gonna be a little more cautious with my purchases? Yes, right? So, like, it's one of those things, like, I don't love it. The amount of people that you would have to have come together to really, make a difference to the bottom line so that they change their business practices would have to be so big. There's not that many people in the gaming space on social media to really make that big of a dent. I don't think. There may have been a few cases where it actually worked, but how many times have we seen boycott, 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 and nothing changes? And in some cases, those people that preach boycott end up purchasing the stuff anyway. So, um, let's see. Cryptic asks a good question. 2017, were you burnt out on getting Wii U ports early on? I think, to me, those were new games because I didn't own a Wii U. It it brought new life into a lot of those games, and on the same at the same time, there were enough there were enough games. So I always thought the ports were great because I didn't, even though I had purchased a lot of them, I wasn't playing through a lot of them. I was still doing a lot of Xbox gaming and stuff during that time, so I wasn't beating a ton of games on Wii U. So a lot of them were great for me to go back to. So Brandon says, "I'm watching your Mario Kart footage. I need to step jump into pipe trials. That's what you're seeing right now. Jump in, like, just take 30 minutes a day to run this track and see how you can do against yourself. That's the best part of this. What's so funny is uh this was the time the I picked this for pipe trials yesterday. I raced it a handful of times. This was this morning's footage. And when we got this track during the stream yesterday, I smoked everybody in the in the chat because, like, I had the lines, they were fresh, and, I think they were even commenting, like, you were so far ahead," and that's, like, that can happen in this game once you get some of these crazy lines down, and what I love about it is it looks super cool, but it's really not super difficult to pull off once you get the hang of it. So, oh, the clever says commenting and liking the video for the algorithm gods appreciate you. Um Cryptic says, and since Switch was so popular, I think people already owned the Switch 1 versions of the ports to Switch 2. So it's not as exciting to everyone. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. But I think Nintendo chose correctly in to a certain extent when you have 15% of new Switch owners coming into the um basically getting involved into the Nintendo ecosystem with the new with the new system. So that also leaves plenty of room for sales of those older games. So, um, Steak says you haven't had to pay $80 for Mario Kart World since launch. Just had to get the bundle and it was 50 or free on Cyber Monday week. Yeah. Yeah, and that's, I mean, the the thing for me is I was fairly certain Nintendo was going to um send me a copy, and they ended up doing that, which was super kind of them. Uh, but I wanted the physical anyway, so I got the 450 Switch, bought a physical Mario Kart because I literally collect Mario Kart from different regions, and obviously including the US. So I bought the physical 80, but that's only because I wanted it in my collection. Taking a look here, Nate says, "I'm super cautious now. That's why Kirby Air Riders isn't even on my list of stuff I want to play." I understand. Yeah. Um, it it's it the other thing, okay, here's the other thing that I think a lot, and you guys have heard me mention it before. The first 3 years of the Switch, Amazon and Best Buy were fighting to get you to buy games from them, and they were selling them for $50 a pop if you bought like, if you pre-ordered. You guys remember that? And then signing up for, like, the Best Buy, like, Ultimate or whatever it was called? Like, so that's another like, that's how I that was part of the reason I collected all of the North American releases for Switch 1 the first year because there was there was good deals out there. Like, there was a lot of good deals out there. And that, you know, that's kind of gone away outside of Mario Kart being discounted and basically being a pack-in game, which is free. But so I wanna hear your guys' thoughts on this because a lot of the conversation or some of the conversation is when you look at and I don't look at this stuff like PlayStation versus Nintendo. Like I don't I don't care. I want all of the companies that make games to do well so that we have competition and that we get fun games to play, right? Like whether I end up getting a PS5 at some point, which I probably will, early next year, or I'll just end up waiting for I need to see what the release date is for like the 6 and whatnot, but there's a chance that I'll go that route because I don't it's I you guys know me. I'll drink Coke and Pepsi. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not like I play Nintendo because it's where I have the most fun and it's where I have the most nostalgia. I got zero nostalgia for Sony. I got way more nostalgia for Xbox and Halo, but those games like nothing coming from Xbox has really been like at the level that old Xbox was at. Like it's just there's no way around that, which does make me sad. So Nate called me a fraud soda drinker, said pick a side. Um, Cryptic said, yeah, my Walmart always had stuff way cheaper. That I mean, everybody was fighting for those purchases. And so, but the you know the story online is that Sony ate Nintendo's lunch for Black Friday, right? Because they knocked $100 off the console, and then retailers had to basically go again, like not go behind Nintendo's back, but essentially say, "Hey, we're gonna sell the Switch 2 at a discounted rate so that we can get some of them off the shelves as well." And so maybe there's a chance that it is slowing down a bit. You know, I don't know. None of that has like if it slows down enough, I mean, then what? They have to discount it potentially, but then you've got all of these potential price hikes due to like RAM and storage costs. So that makes things interesting as well. And I mean, I don't the fact that Sony did well, that's great. My thing is I benefit from getting a PlayStation because I haven't played any of those games that entire generation. So there's plenty of first party or Sony games that I could have a good time with. Never played any of the Last of Us games, so that would be a great series for me to jump into. Never played Horizon except for the Lego game. I'm a huge God of War fan, but I'm not sure that it's the same God of War that I'm used to. And then, there may be a few others that I could play. Spider-Man, maybe Returnal would be something. I'm still on the fence about, Death Stranding, but I think that's in other places as well. So, for me, it's just like I'm I feel like I'm maxed out on trying to play everything as it is. So it's not a it's not like it's not an anti-Sony thing. It's just I'm having a great time. Like the footage you guys are watching me play right here, wh- I had so much fun this morning. Like so much fun. It I've I've always done time trials in Mario Kart. It's one of those things that's almost therapeutic for me. It's almost therapeutic for me, and I just have such a great time with it. So, I wanna jump into a few more of the chats here. Cryptic said, My only gripe 6 months in is that we sometimes got games late. Borderlands 4 still waiting, as an example. Sonic came out late, and that seems to be, getting, uh, getting through heading into 2026. I think um, that may be just due to the I mean, we're only 6 months in, right? And dev kits and that kinda stuff potentially. Also optimizing for a brand new system could have some effect there. Plus, we know Borderlands had a very rough start with a lot of, like, I think had memory bleed and things like that, so that's, that's a potential big issue when it comes to Switch 2, so they've got sounds like they've got plenty of work to do there, and I know, like, didn't Elden Ring get delayed, right? So, um Nate says, "But who really cares? Those PlayStation are clearly Fortnite boxes. It all comes down to software." And I mean, like I said, for me, it's like there's a handful of games out there, but also a handful of those games are already on PC. So like, short of like what Astrobot, where you have to use the PlayStation controller, that might be the main one for me. I'd have to check and see what's on PC and what's not, but um, so and Steak makes a great point. This is an incredible point. Knocked $100 off of consoles after raising it how much this year? Yeah. Yeah, it was almost like the play was, "Hey, let's raise it in the throughout the year, and then we'll drop it back to the normal price for the holiday." And, yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow also. So, Cryptic said, "Helldivers would be a game I'd be happy if it came to Switch. It'd be great." Yeah. Cryptic said, "I'd also be super hyped and would definitely play through all the Xenoblade games again with Switch 2 upgrades with better visuals and frames." Yep, same. Uh, you know what I think at this point? I don't know that I don't know that 3 could get too much more DLC as because I know that it kind of wrapped a lot of stuff up, but I do wonder if 1 and 2 and maybe X, there's not the potential for some extra content. We saw extra content added to X, right? When it launched the definitive edition. So maybe there's even more that they could do, and then they potentially end up charging. I'm not saying that's what I want by any stretch of the imagination, but I do kind of wonder if that's what's going to go on there. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, I'm in the middle of X. I'm 18 levels into 3, but I'm in the same boat. I want to play the better version on the Switch too. So, Cryptic says, "So it depends on the franchise Nintendo chooses to upgrade." Yeah. And so, I like, I look at these last 6 months and you look at sales, they've been breaking records with sales. They've been moving software like crazy. What probably their 2 big misses are, uh and I don't even know that I would necessarily say that Welcome Tour is like a big miss. It's just that a lot of people think it should be a pack-in, like, tech demo, kind of like 1-2 Switch should have been. But then, uh, Drag and Drive, like, it just didn't hit. Even at the low price point, it just like, it was a fun novelty, like, the one time we played it, with the NPC crew, but, like, outside of that, it kinda fell flat, you know? And that I mean, every game's not gonna be especially when you're taking risks and you're using a gimmick. Could you imagine if something like Drag and Drive had come out on the Wii? It probably would have done it probably would have done fantastic if they could have figured out a way to use that similar motion with with the Wii remote and the nunchuck, probably would have been done better and been, widely accepted. Whereas like now, where like to use the Joy-Con as the on their side, it's just it's not even really it's not like comfortable to play either. So it was like cool that they did it, but it just kind of fell flat. So Steak said, "Would love Divers, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Expedition 33 on Switch 2. Hoping since Larian did the Divinity Original Sin 2 Switch 2 edition, they'll bring Baldur's Gate 3 over." Yeah, I mean that's been the conversation, right? A lot of people wanting that. Now, I think something that's worth looking at, what what is going on with Skyrim, right? Like why did that not come out at 60 FPS? Why wasn't it optimized better? The 360 game. Right now, I know the anniversary edition is probably a beefier version than the 360 game, but like that seems like a strange, and obviously that's not on Nintendo, I don't think. I don't, maybe they help with some of that stuff, but at the same time, if there's like some quality control or the Nintendo quality seal, you guys know what I'm talking about. Uh, what what's up with that coming out? Like Bugthesda, I love that steak. That's great. Bugthesda's fantastic. So so good. So, um, that seems to be a bit of a strange thing. Now, I did you guys I don't know if this is gonna get patched or not, but apparently if you go and you buy a used copy of Skyrim and Hogwarts, and then you upgrade to the Switch 2 edition with the Switch 1 games, you don't like I'm not I was reading this on Reddit. So you have to follow up to see the exact details here, but apparently you can then return the game and it will somehow work as the Switch 2 game on on your Switch, or on your Switch 2. So I don't know all of the details on how to make that work. I know there's stuff out there for that, but if you potentially want to get a couple free games, you could because you could, if they're used at GameStop, you can just trade you can take them back in after like, but what is it, a month or something like that. So well, during this time of year anyway. So Steak said there's a reason Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Skyrim have had the community make the best fix patches for them. That's insane to me. That's honestly insane to me, but I get it. Uh, yeah, yeah. Bugthesda is a great way of putting it. So yeah, at the end of the day, how many of you guys would agree that you feel like you are gaming more, and that you're just having like you're having a good time with with the Switch 2. And if you think about it, guys, there was a little bit of time there where we're like, what is going on with Metroid? What is going on with Age of Imprisonment? Why are there no dates? What's happening here? Right? And and so that was a little touch and go, trying to figure out why weren't we getting dates for a little bit? That seems strange. But there was plenty of other games like Madden, Tony Hawk. Like if you look back in these last 6 months, there like the list of games, Street Fighter, Cyberpunk, even a remake for Bravely Default, like there's a ton of great software. Some of it, we've been playing for years, so there's not, some people aren't going to be going back to it, right? They have no need to. But there's a ton of people out there that this is their main Nintendo's their main system. The Switch has been their main system for the last 8 years, and now they're getting their hands on some absolutely incredible software. And I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. So, Firestone is here. What's going on? Says world has its first glitch world record. It got patched, didn't it? Isn't that what that patch was? I'm pretty sure because I was watching that. That was crazy on Mario Bros. Circuit. Wild. Nate said Bethesda games just never been my thing. Sounds like I've dodged a bullet. I mean, Skyrim is so fun. Is so fun. I loved every minute with it. And I'd play it again. I'd play Oblivion again if if they ended up over on Switch. Like, and I my copy of Skyrim's in storage right now, but it's not the copy that gets the free upgrade. I think I still have to pay 20 bucks or something like that. So, uh Madden on Switch is literally what reeled me to get one. Love that. That was a system seller for you. Yeah, because you held out a little bit. You held out for a little bit. So that yeah, and Madden, like I've been getting the bug. The problem is I'm just trying to get stuff completed, but I've been like, yo, I want to get some Madden in. So I want to get more Madden games in. It's too far down on my list right now, and I don't like it. Steak says, as an early adopter for a new system, I'm kind of used to uh I'm kind of used to getting their legs under them, period. You gotta stay patient. Also, that Bethesda games are super fun. You sometimes just need to wait for some patches and usually go on sale after a bit too. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. And yeah, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, speaking of, like, early adopter, I mean, I bought my Xbox One was, like, the day one. I still have the day one controller, right? That was kind of like, that was an interesting launch with launch games. The Switch was fantastic. There was always something to play. It was always first party though, for the most part. We did get, you know, we there was the put everything on Switch for a while there, but then eventually it's like, okay, these games are having a little bit of a tough go here. But then the thing that the thing that really has me thinking with the Switch too is that it doesn't it doesn't feel like it's only been 6 months. It feels to me like it's been much longer than that, and I think that is a testament to all of the great software that has come out, and that has me playing. And even jumping into like, I streamed for a little bit tonight, the Final Fantasy stuff, and it's like, "Yo, this is fantastic." Like, Metroid Prime 4 was absolutely stunning, just gorgeous, and that was a Switch 1 game, right? A Final Fantasy looking gorgeous. Cyberpunk looks gorgeous. Like, there's a lot of really good looking games, and that's like, we would say that about Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like, that those were your good looking games on Switch 1, but, like, you weren't saying that much about third party games. We can say that this time around, and that that's pretty fun, honestly. So, let's see here. Cryptic says, and I mean, this is so valid and it's worth talking about. My Switch is gonna be full if I buy Final Fantasy 7. Can we get cheaper SD cards? That's a conversation, you know? You have the 512. Yeah. I mean, I'm already removing and archiving stuff on uh, on on my Switch too. And I'm in the same boat. I have almost a terabyte worth of storage, and I I'm already like deleting and moving stuff. So to the point, like what's funny is like I was getting very used to like and more comfortable with digital. Now I'm almost enjoying having the carts a little bit more so that like I don't have to put them on the SD card. But in some cases, like Final Fantasy, almost 100 gigs and not no option for a cart. It's yeah, space is going to be at a premium. Cryptic Steak said he had to upgrade to the two and got your terabyte yesterday. Yeah, that's right. That's what you were saying. You got the terabyte yesterday. It's yeah, yeah. Storage. The storage situation is crazy. But I mean, look at the games we're getting, right? And I mean, what once you finish something like Final Fantasy, you'll probably, you could take it off the system or archive it or whatever until until there's some kind of like because is that game's like episodic, I believe. I'm just not sure if you have to have the old game on the system when you do the new game or how that's all going to play out. I'm not super up on all that. So Nate says I have still yet to buy storage. I have to cope with my 256 right now. Here we go. Right? And I mean, it's honestly like first world problem. Like I can't keep all my games on my system at once. What do you mean I have to re-download, It yeah, it most definitely is that. But that convenience is nice. It is nice having a lot of those games right at your fingertips, without having to re-download them. And I mean, that's the argument for physical games, right? That they're right there. So overall, I'll just kinda wrap with this. Like, I think for me personally, the Switch 2 has been a fantastic launch. I have had so much fun just playing so many games. And I also want to like we did Mario Kart Monday last night. That was super fun. Just getting back with the community again. Doing Mario Party on Thursdays and just playing like I want to get to where I'm playing with you guys more. Like I want to and even doing like the Nintendo Classics or the NSO game of the week. Like I jumped into Streets of Rage too, and I'm like, "Yo, this is an absolute Final Fight clone and I'm here for it." Like I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, uh it's just been super fun. Firestone says, "Gonna play some 8." I have not really touched 8 since I took 2nd, uh, at PAX with Crawler in a, 2v2s, and, but I haven't played much Mario Kart 8 since, so, uh, World just got its hooks in me bad, so but yeah, I'm just having a great time with games, like, in general, and a lot of that is because of the hype around this system, So I hope it continues to do well, and, we'll have to wait and see, like, once the hype dies down, they've 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 ki I think they've kind of brilliantly positioned themselves to launch a 3D Mario and almost have it be like another console launch for them to hold back some of these real heavy hitters that will definitely move hardware. I think that's the play. And so we're seeing what looks like a lot of like um, end of the system's life come out early on, but they're also doing well. Donkey Kong's not doing Odyssey numbers, but it's still a ton of fun, and I think you're gonna see that game under the tree for a lot of kids. So, Firestone's asking about Momocon. As of right now, I'm not, but I should look into some more details on that because that would be a lot of fun for sure. So, probably PAX East is gonna be the next thing I'm looking at. Uh, I need to fill out for media on that one though. So, well, this has been a fun chat, you guys. I appreciate you all so very much, and as always, play it loud.